What if humans evolved for the wrong planet, not Earth? Because the version of you living there wouldn't even look human anymore. We're going to visit every planet in the solar system. And on each one, we're going to watch humanity transform into something that would make your grandmother scream and a biologist weep with joy. This is 8 different futures, 8 different monsters, and they all started as you. Let's go. Planet 1, Mercury, the planet that cooks you like a hot pocket. Normal you lands on Mercury. Congratulations, you last approximately 4 minutes. During the day, the surface hits 430 degrees Celsius. At night, it drops to minus 180. There's no atmosphere, no air, no protection from the sun. It's basically standing directly on a frying pan that also has a blizzard setting. Mercury is not playing games, but millions of years pass, and life finds a way. The first Mercury humans are just dying slightly slower than the ones before them. That's evolution, baby. Skin darkens to near black, a living solar panel absorbing just enough energy without frying the organs underneath. Then the skin develops something extraordinary, reflective microplates, like a beetle's shell but on a person. The body reflects 60% of incoming radiation. The remaining 40% powers everything. The body shrinks dramatically. Big bodies need cooling systems. Mercury doesn't offer that. So Mercury humans become small, dense, and tucked in. Think armadillo meets human, rolled into a compact orb of survival. They evolve into crevice dwellers, living inside rocks and underground tunnel systems to escape the temperature swings. They sleep during the day, go dormant in 88-hour hibernation cycles matching Mercury's long solar day. When they wake, they move fast. Sprint, eat, breed, hide, repeat. Eyes become tiny and deeply recessed, buried behind 3 layers of transparent membrane. Looking directly at the sky would boil your eyeballs. So nobody does. Lungs disappear, almost entirely. Mercury humans absorb trace gases through their skin, a mix of oxygen atoms blasted off the surface by solar wind. It's barely breathing. It's more like sipping the sun. A Mercury human is about 90 centimeters tall, matte black skin overlaid with iridescent plates that glitter silver in sunlight, 4 stubby limbs, tiny sunken eyes, no visible nose, a wide flat mouth used for scraping minerals off rock faces. They eat rock minerals, iron, sulfur, magnesium. They lick cave walls and consider it a feast. Communication is mostly vibration, tapping complex rhythms into the ground that travel through stone tunnels to their neighbors. Reproduction happens in underground chambers during the brief window between scorching day and freezing night. The whole colony times it. Every Mercury human on the planet reproduces during the same 6-hour window every 88 days. It's incredibly efficient and also deeply terrifying. Mercury humans don't look at the sky, not because they can't, because they know something is up there that will hurt them, and they have decided, collectively as a species, to just not. Planet 2. Venus. The planet that wants to dissolve you specifically. Venus is the most beautiful planet to look at from space. It is also a poisonous pressure cooker wrapped in acid clouds. Surface temperature, 465 degrees Celsius. All the time, day, night, it doesn't matter. Venus holds grudges. The atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide and the clouds rain sulfuric acid. The air pressure on the surface is 92 times that of Earth. Landing there feels like being at the bottom of a kilometer-deep ocean. Except the ocean is hot acid. Normal you, immediate and spectacular death. But Venus has a secret. About 50 kilometers up, in the cloud layer, temperatures hit a comfortable 20 to 37 degrees. Pressure is almost Earth-like. There's even a tiny amount of water vapor. So Venus humans don't live on the ground. They live in the sky. Millions of years of evolution turn Venus humans into something between a human and a manta ray. The body becomes wide and flat, a living glider designed to ride perpetual atmospheric winds that circle Venus at 300 kilometers per hour. Bones become hollow and ultralight. Lungs grow massive, taking up 40% of body volume, filtering CO2 and extracting the rare oxygen molecules hiding inside it. A specialized enzyme in Venus human blood, let's call it acid hemoglobin, actually uses trace sulfuric acid as a metabolic catalyst. They don't just tolerate the acid atmosphere, they need it. The skin develops a waxy, self-sealing coating that repairs acid damage faster than it occurs. Pale yellow, almost translucent. You can see the organs if you look closely, which you won't because it's unsettling. Eyes become enormous. Cloud living means poor visibility, permanent haze, and navigating by wind currents. Venus eyes are wide, pale, and slightly luminescent, built to detect pressure changes and light shifts rather than sharp images. A Venus human is about 2 meters wide and 60 centimeters thick, no legs, 4 wing arms for steering, a translucent yellowish body, enormous milky eyes, a mouth that filters atmosphere passively, like a whale shark, constantly open. They never touch the ground. They are born in the clouds. They live in the clouds. They die in the clouds and slowly drift downward until the surface destroys what's left. They eat atmospheric microbes. Yes, Venus may have microbial life in its cloud layer, plus chemical compounds they filter from the air. They sleep by going into a slow drift, folding their wing arms, descending slightly before a thermal catches them. They communicate by changing skin bioluminescence. A full conversation is just 2 glowing flat humans silently flickering at each other in a sulfuric acid cloud at 50 kilometers altitude. Venus humans have never seen the ground. They don't know it exists. And if you told them that somewhere far below the clouds, there's a solid surface crushing everything into silence, they would glow a color that means terror. Planet 3, Mars. The planet that's almost nice but isn't Mars is the planet we keep flirting with. It's right there, sort of Earth-sized, has seasons, has ice, has a sunset that turns the sky blue, but it also has 1% of Earth's atmosphere, minus 60 average temperature, radiation that would give you cancer in weeks, dust storms that last for months. Normal you lands on Mars, you can't breathe, you freeze, and your DNA starts unraveling from radiation. Over millions of years, Mars humans go underground. Deep underground. The Martian soil blocks radiation. Geothermal heat keeps caves warm. Underground ice melts into water reservoirs. Mars humans become cavers. And cavers, over millions of years, become something strange. Eyes vanish. There's no light underground. Mars humans navigate by echolocation, clicking sounds bouncing off tunnel walls, and by electromagnetic sensitivity, feeling the faint magnetic anomalies in Martian rock. Skin turns bone white with a faint red tinge from the minerals in the Martian soil that get absorbed through pores. They're thinner, taller, and their circulatory systems become hyper-efficient. Mars' gravity is 38% of Earth's, so the heart barely needs to push blood uphill. The heart shrinks, the legs elongate. Mars humans are thin, pale, tall, with empty eye sockets. Lungs develop trilobed structures capable of extracting oxygen from CO2 with a biological catalyst, essentially a tiny internal filter system that turns the thin Martian air into something breathable. A Mars human stands 2.3 meters tall. Ghostly pale, no functional eyes, just smooth skin where the eyes were, enormous ears, elongated fingers that can feel magnetic fields, a faint reddish stain to everything, like they rolled in rust. They grow fungus. Vast underground fungal networks fed by geothermal heat and bioluminescent chemical reactions. The fungus feeds them. They communicate by clicking. They are extremely quiet and extremely fast in the dark. They surface once a Martian year, at solar maximum when radiation mysteriously drops, for a 72-hour period of strange ritual, standing under the alien sky, feeling solar wind on pale skin. No one knows why they still do it. They've been blind for 400,000 years. Mars humans lost their eyes, but they still turn their faces toward where the sun should be, like they remember something they never experienced, like the memory of light is genetic. Planet 4, Jupiter. The planet that is just too much planet. Jupiter is not a planet. Jupiter is a warning, no solid surface, just endless layers of gas getting denser and hotter until hydrogen becomes a liquid metal at the core. The storms alone are larger than Earth. Wind speeds hit 600 kilometers per hour. The pressure as you descend would crush a submarine like a paper cup. Normal you gets dropped in, you fall, you compress, you become part of Jupiter. Permanently. Millions of years of living in gas. Jupiter humans stop being solid. Not immediately. First, they get lighter. Bones dissolve into flexible cartilage. Then organs restructure into distributed systems that work in any orientation, because in Jupiter's atmosphere there is no up. Then the skin begins producing hydrogen-filled sacs beneath the surface, natural buoyancy chambers. Over millions of years, Jupiter humans become atmospheric jellyfish. The body becomes a vast, translucent bag of biological machinery about 10 meters across, internal organs visible as glowing colored shapes inside. The hydrogen sacs keep them buoyant at a stable altitude in the atmosphere, where pressure and temperature sit in the narrow band that biology can handle. They absorb energy directly from Jupiter's immense electrical storm system. Lightning strikes don't kill them. Lightning strikes feed them. They developed electromagnetic cells, biobatteries, that store and use electrical energy. They have no digestive system. They absorb organic organic molecules drifting in the atmosphere through millions of microscopic surface pores. A Jupiter human is a vast, pale, translucent sphere with trailing tendrils 30 meters long, faintly luminescent, drifting silently in the cloud bands, occasionally lit from within by absorbed lightning. They look like living storm clouds. They are. There is no sleeping, no eating, no breeding season. Jupiter humans divide, like cells, when they grow large enough. Two new humans drift apart from one. No parents, no childhood, just sudden existence in an endless gas giant. Communication is electrical. Pulses of stored lightning sent through tendrils when two of them drift close. A conversation between two Jupiter humans looks like two clouds arguing with lightning. Jupiter humans don't move through the planet. Jupiter moves through them. They stopped distinguishing themselves from the storm about 200,000 years ago. Whether they're still conscious is unclear. Planet 5. Saturn. The planet of rings and wrong gravity. Saturn is Jupiter's slightly less terrifying cousin. Still a gas giant. Still no solid surface. But the upper atmosphere is calmer. The chemistry is slightly different. And the rings, massive billions of ice and rock chunks, create a resource field unlike anywhere else in the solar system. Saturn humans take a different evolutionary route than Jupiter humans. Instead of going deep into the atmosphere, they go up, into the rings. Generations of Saturn humans make their way into the ring system. Low gravity, chunks of ice, constant access to water, a population spread across billions of floating rocks. Gravity in the rings is almost zero. Bodies adapt accordingly. Muscles shrink, bones become flexible scaffolding, limbs elongate into long, grasping structures. 6 of them, perfect for moving hand over hand between ring particles. Skin becomes white-blue, reflective, and slightly crystalline, mimicking the ice chunks they live on, as camouflage from something. Nobody's sure what. Maybe it started as protection from radiation. Or maybe early Saturn ring humans had predators we haven't found fossils of yet. Eyes become enormous. The rings are backlit by the distant sun, creating a dim twilight environment. Huge, dark-adapted eyes that can pick out individual ice grains at 200 meters. A Saturn ring human is extremely thin, 3 meters tall, 6-limbed, with crystalline pale skin and enormous black eyes. They cling to icebergs in space. They look like they were designed specifically to haunt your dreams. They melt ice with body heat for water. They eat the organic carbon compounds trapped in ring ice, ancient matter from the early solar system, billions of years old. They are essentially eating the past. They travel between ring chunks by jumping. In low gravity, a jump carries you for kilometers. Children play by leaping between ice boulders. It looks like it should be fun. It is not. The void between boulders is still space. Saturn humans live on the rings of a giant planet, eating billion-year-old space material, leaping between floating ice in total silence. They have evolved vocal cords but have no atmosphere to carry sound. They have never heard themselves scream. Planet 6, Uranus, the planet tilted into madness. Uranus is tilted 98 degrees on its axis. This means its poles face the sun directly, and each pole gets 42 years of constant sunlight followed by 42 years of total darkness. It's a gas ice giant, super cold. Methane in the atmosphere turns it blue-green. Winds of 900 kilometers per hour in the upper cloud layers. Also, it smells like hydrogen sulfide. It literally smells like rotten eggs. Welcome to Uranus. Uranus humans developed the most extreme biological clock in the solar system. Their entire physiology is built around one thing: 42-year cycles. During the light decades, they are fully active, metabolizing at high speed, eating, breeding, building. During the dark decades, their metabolism drops by 98%. They don't sleep. They enter a state between hibernation and death called the slow, where their brain runs at 1% activity. Their heart beats once per minute, and they consume their stored body fat across 4 decades of darkness. Bodies become massive reservoirs of fat and slow-burning fuel, wide, round, insulated by layers of biological antifreeze. When the light returns, they wake up slowly over a period of months, blinking enormous sensitive eyes, thin from 40 years of doing almost nothing. Then they eat like it's the last meal, because it might be the last meal for 42 years. Reproduction only happens at the transition between dark and light, the tiny window every 84 years when conditions briefly align. A Uranus human is round, heavily insulated, blue-tinted from methane exposure. Large dormancy-adapted eyes, slow movements, slow speech, slow everything. Massive bodies designed for storage. Uranus humans live 84-year lives measured in 2 heartbeats, the long day and the long night. Their word for death and their word for winter are the same word. They never bothered to make them different. Planet 7, Neptune, the planet at the edge of everything. Neptune is 4.5 billion kilometers from the Sun. It receives 900 times less sunlight than Earth. It's nearly pitch black. The winds hit 2,100 kilometers per hour, the fastest in the solar system. And it's made of ice and gas and mystery and sadness. Normal humans, instant obliteration, but at least it's windy. Neptune humans live deep in the atmospheric layers where pressure creates warmth. They never see sunlight. They have been in darkness so long they have evolved entirely new senses. Magnetoreception, electroreception, pressure sensing, infrasound detection. They feel the planet's magnetic field like a sixth direction, not north or south, but depth. They always know exactly how deep they are. They generate their own light. Bioluminescence, complex, controllable, beautiful patterns. Neptune humans talking to each other looks like a silent aurora. They eat chemosynthetic organisms, bacteria, and strange life forms that feed on chemical energy from Neptune's hot interior. Neptune humans farm these organisms. They have agriculture, in the dark, in a gas giant, at the edge of the solar system, small, dense, deep black skin peppered with bioluminescent nodes, no eyes, smooth skin where eyes would be. A lateral line system, like a fish, running down both sides of the body, feeling vibrations and pressure gradients. Neptune humans farm life in total darkness at the edge of the solar system and light themselves up to talk because there's no other way. They are the loneliest successful species in the universe, and they have no word for lonely because there's never been anything else. Bonus planet, Pluto. The planet that got demoted and is still angry about it. Not technically a planet anymore. Dwarf planet, icy rock. Minus 233 degrees, barely any atmosphere. Pluto humans? They don't evolve. They just freeze, over and over. They develop a biological process where their entire body cryogenically freezes during Pluto's 248-year orbit. They wake once per orbit, reproduce in a frantic 12-hour window, see that Pluto is still cold and dark and miserable, and freeze again. They are the universe's most inconvenienced species. Pluto humans wake up every 248 years, realize they're still on Pluto, and make a face. 8 planets, 8 transformations, 8 versions of you that you would not recognize, would not survive next to, and would not enjoy making eye contact with. The Mercury human who sips the sun, the Venus human glowing in acid clouds, the Mars human with empty eyes turning toward a light they've never seen, the Jupiter human that might not be conscious anymore, the Saturn human who has never heard its own voice, the Uranus human with 2 seasons and 1 word for both of them, the Neptune human farming life at the edge of darkness, and Pluto, just Pluto. Evolution doesn't care about dignity. It doesn't care about what you look like, what you remember, or what you call yourself. It has one rule: survive or get replaced by something that does. The scary part is, life doesn't need humans. Humans just become whatever survives. Subscribe to the channel. Every week, we publish fascinating videos about everything imaginable, from hidden mysteries and shocking discoveries to stories that will completely change the way you see the world. Don't miss the next one.